May Gilvanin, everybody, and welcome to another stream. It is yet again another every other week Wednesday, and that means, yes, it is time for another Ranger reading episode. Really excited for this one. We're going to be reading more of the book of Genesis, followed by, in the Bible, followed by more Encyclopedia Eorzea. Really excited. Really excited to see what we get into today. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Also, welcome everyone to the chat, including Wolfie and Alpha. How you both doing? I hope you're doing amazing, doing good. Oh, good. I'm glad you both are doing good. But yeah, really excited for tonight. And yeah. And then obviously tomorrow morning we will be streaming some of the new Wuthering Waves update. Really hyped for that as well. And obviously doing Final Fantasy on Friday. But yeah, on that note, let me get everything set up as per usual, and then we will jump into the show. So stand by as I get this all ready. Starting with me temporarily disappearing. Goodbye. Goodbye, everybody. Oh no, I have faded off into nothingness. No! I don't know what I'm doing. Yes, anyway. Let's make sure this is working. That is not working. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on a second. Technical difficulties. Actually, I think I clicked the wrong button. Did I click the wrong button? Huh? Huh? Oh, I see the problem. There it is. All right. Took a second for me to get that working. Sorry about that. Anyway, everybody, it is time for another Ranger reading episode. If you have missed previous episodes, this new series that we will be doing every other Wednesday, we will be reading books live on stream. It's a lot of fun. And yeah, we're going to be jumping into it right now. Also, Sarasvana, Matt, yet again. Love that thing. Some of the last merch she had before she left Hololive. But yeah, anyway, we will be reading more of the good old Bible, followed by Encyclopedia Eorzea Volume 1, which, where are we in this? We are... Oh, yes, I've been looking forward to this. In the words of a certain Star Wars character, we finally get to learn about the different races of Final Fantasy XIV. Yes, that's going to be fun. Looking forward to that. Also, welcome Silver to the chat. I hope you're doing amazing. Good to see ya. But yeah, without further ado, let's jump in to my favorite version of the Bible, which is the 1599 Geneva Bible, because I am a history nerd, and I actually like Old English because I'm a history nerd. And this is the first ever English translation of the Bible, so definitely my favorite. Hamburger? What? How are you? I am good. I am very good. I'm very good. I'm having a very, I had a very exciting day today, and I just came from eating dinner with my dad, and I've been showing him a certain anime called Gate, which is one of my top 10. I love that show. Yeah, so I've been sharing that with him, and he's very much enjoying it. Love that anime, by the way. Also, seeing an elf fire a rocket is quite an experience. I like Old English as well, as long as I don't need to decipher it. If I need to do that, I'm giving up on life. Fair enough. I've read enough Old English that I can kind of, like, I can pretty much, without even trying, generally understand everything. Sometimes I'll run into a word and be like, hey, but most of the time it's just really nice. So, 4 more days? 4 more days for what, Alpha? Trying to remember if something's coming out in 4 days and I can't remember. What was the anime's name again that you recommended to your father? Gate. Gate. We've been watching it when we eat dinner. I've been sharing it with him. Usually that's what my dad and I do, is we share. He either shares. Recently it's been he shares Korean drama with me and I share an anime with him, and we've kind of been going back and forth. So, oh, your birthday, Alpha. Well, happy early birthday. But yeah, that's awesome. I hope you have a great birthday. Also, you should get some rewards in Musume and Wuthering Waves if you created a Wuthering Waves account. But yeah. Gacha games do very good about giving you free rewards for your birthday, which is very nice. But yeah. Isn't that the anime where random gates appear in Japan so the military goes in and destroys everything? That is a very watered down description, but yes, sorta. I mean, that also is an anime where you don't expect there to be, especially in the second half of the story, like immense political shenanigans, but like the political shenanigans go on steroids with everything going on, especially a certain prince guy that everyone hates. But yeah, Gate is great. It's also great just seeing modern military destroy fantasy armies. It's very entertaining. Oh, a download problem? Wait, there's a download problem with UA Alpha, really? God, is a War Thunder tank nerd when yeah, exactly. Just to guess the military vehicles? Oh, I'm sure. And they're making a season 2, which I'm really excited about, which is one reason I'm glad I'm showing my dad, because he can join me when they release season 2, which is going to be cool. So, even though season 2, unlike the first season, is going to focus primarily on the Navy, so... Yes, they are making a season 2, and it is going to focus on another team that sets up the same time as Atami's team, but is a Navy-based team, and it's going apparently to cross over at the end of the season with the original team, with the original cast, which is really cool. Once the Fallout show ends, you're gonna start watching Gate. I approve. I approve. I approve. I give you my thumbs up. Gate is a great show. That's why I'm rewatching it with my dad. Such a good show. Also, I love that there's elves in that show anyway. I mean, what? Anyway, we're going to start the reading because we do have a lot to read tonight, especially in Encyclopedia Eorzea. But anyway, as I was saying the last few weeks, Genesis is one of my favorite books in the Bible as a Christian, mostly because, again, history nerd, and this is like the most historic you can get in almost any book ever. Also, this is the book that I think, also as a science nerd and as someone who literally in high school, when I got really into science, especially the fossil record and stuff like that, I actually went on a whole thing, a whole research thing for over a year, trying to like really research where science, like if science just disproves the Bible, and kind of just got proved wrong on everything, which it was a fascinating journey of my part of my life. But if anyone wants to know the stuff that I researched back then, I have references galore. But anyway, I love the book of Genesis. So we are going to read, picking up on chapter 3, and read chapter 3. And once we finish chapter 3, we will be jumping into Encyclopedia Eorzea. So yeah, did watch JoJo and Fate Stay Night. Nice. And Cyberpunk. Yeah, Cyberpunk, man. I can't wait for that collab with Wuthering Waves. It's going to be so good. That was a good anime. Very dark, too, but also it made me want to play the game, because I hear the whole Cyberpunk anime is just a giant prequel for the game, because I know Atom Smasher is a major character in the actual Cyberpunk game, and he's pretty much revealed in that anime, which is pretty cool. Oh, Tamamo Cross. Yes, you and your Tamamo Cross luck. Actually, all of you with your Uma luck. It's stupid. The only time I get lucky in that game is when I do pulls while on my bus. Gosh dang it. It's always the bus, man. But yeah, I'm hoping my bad luck in Uma Musume will balance out to having good luck in Wuthering Waves, though. Please. Please give me good luck in Wuthering Waves. Wait, Cyberpunk is getting a season 2? How? Literally, like, okay, spoilers for anyone that watched the show, or hasn't watched the show that wants to, but at the end of that season, everyone kind of dies, except for, like, obviously one character, and then obviously Atom Smasher, who's a main character in the video game, so it's like, eh. I got the 2 new UMA support cards. Yeah, I saw that. Congrats, I got one too. But anyway, we can discuss as I'm jumping between reading stuff. But we gotta jump into this so this doesn't take all night. Anyway, time to show my totally great reading skills. Here we go. Genesis chapter 3. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said to the woman, Yea, hath God indeed said, You shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, We eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, You shall not eat of it, neither shall you touch it, lest you die. Then the serpent said to the woman, You shall not die at all. But God doth know that when you shall eat thereof, your eyes shall be opened, and you shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. So the woman, seeing as the tree was good for meat, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to get knowledge, took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also to her husband with her, and he did eat. Then the eyes of them both were opened, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together, and made themselves branches. Afterward they heard the voice of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day, and the man and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God among the trees of the garden. But God called to the man and said unto him, Where art thou? Who said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and was afraid, because I was naked, therefore I hid myself. He said, Who told thee that thou was naked? Had thou eaten of the tree thereof I commanded thee that thou shouldst not eat? Then the man said, The woman which thou gavest with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. And the Lord God said to the woman, Why hast thou done this? And the woman said, The serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. Then the Lord God said to the serpent, Because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust thou shalt eat all the days of thy life. I will also put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. He shall break thine head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly increase thy sorrows and thy conceptions. In sorrow shalt thou bring forth children, and thy desire shall be subject to thine husband, and he shall rule over thee. Also till Adam he said, Because thou hast obeyed the voice of your wife, and eaten of the tree which I command you, saying, Thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the earth for thy sake, and in sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of your life. Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat of the herbs of the field. In the sweat of thy face thou shalt eat bread till thou return to the earth, for out of it wast thou taken, because thou art dust, and to dust you shall return. And the man called his wife's name Eve, because she was the mother of all living. Unto Adam also and his wife did the Lord God make coats of skins, and clothe them. And the Lord God said, Behold, the man is become as one of us, to know good and evil. And now, lest he put forth his hand, and take also of the tree of life, and eat, and live forever. Therefore the Lord God sent him forth from the Garden of Eden to till the earth, whence he was taken. And he cast out the man, and at the east side of the Garden of Eden he set the cherubims, and the blade of a sword shaken, to keep the way of the tree of life. Which also, that whole last part just makes me think of one of my favorite book series, which is the Dragons in Our Mist series by Brian Davis. Highly recommend that series. Such a good book series. One of my favorite fantasy series of all time. But it's very based in like a storyline that's a spin-off of the beginning of Genesis in the Bible. It's so good. It's so good. Well, season 2 will be after everyone dies. It's from the POV young. Really? Okay. I wonder how that would connect to the video game. Because I obviously have to connect it at some point. But, yeah. Anyway, that is our Bible reading for the day. So, yes. Again, favorite version of the Bible. Love this thing. So, yeah, next week we'll be reading chapter 5. Or not next week. Next, Ranger readings. So, yeah, thus concludes the Bible reading section. And now it is time for Encyclopedia Eorzea. And we, in this book, are currently getting to the part about Hylian's children, aka all the different races of Final Fantasy XIV. I think they're all in here. I don't know if they have the buns and the no, they don't. I think so there are some races missing, but you'd have to get the other volumes to have their lore, I'm guessing. But they have all the ones that were up in the game up to Stormblood, I think. But they don't have the newer ones. But that's still cool! Might do a career since I've been holding it back due to me judging the scalp pulls. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the pulls in Uma Musume for me is the biggest turnoff, which is one reason I prefer Wuthering Waves over Uma Musume. Is just the gacha system in freaking Uma Musume is actually pain. But anyway, the humans, otherwise known as the Here. Modest of build and stature, the Here can lay claim to being the single most populous race in all of modern Eorzea, where they make up a prominent share of the populace in each of the realm's great city-states, which is also, for some reason, even though it's the most popular in game lore, it is the least popular in actual player characters, which is hilarious to me. Although I can say I do have one Here character now because of the character I based off of me, which is the former permadeath character. That you will never see on stream again because I failed that challenge. But anyway. History. The Here arrived in Eorzea prior to the First Astral Era, where they were but one indistinguishable race among many. 3 great migratory waves later, the Here had spread from the northeast reaches of Ilzabar to all corners of the realm, expanding their presence and influence to become Eorzea's predominant race, a position they maintain to this very day, except in player numbers. No, I'm joking. As they settled in new frontiers, the Here often found themselves in conflict, even outright war, with the native peoples of those lands. Still, none can deny that the knowledge, technology, and ideas they brought with them have served as the driving force behind the rapid spread of culture and civilization in Eorzea. Hey, thank you for the Feed the Ranger Silver. I will say, though, I will do it, but I will say, if anyone wants to give me redeems that can help me this stream, give me a hydrate redeem, because I do like my food, but having some hydration when you're reading a lot is definitely beneficial. But it's time to have some combos. Yet again, shout out to my friend Sword of Asley for getting me into these, and now I'm addicted to them, but yes. But anyway, we shall eat our combo. That's the funny thing, Silver. I actually just finished dinner with my dad, so I'm not hungry at all. I just ate like 3 chicken sandwiches I made for myself, and they were really good. Still good, though. Love those combos. Just don't know yet? You sure about that? Why the human looking thick? Which one? Right or left? Okay. Anyway. Identity. The Here boast myriad languages and cultural backgrounds rooted in their respective places of origin. On the other hand, lacking a single overarching culture, any universal Huron sense of cultural identity is pretentious at best. Perhaps owing to this, the Here are wont to value personal freedom, more so than other races. That's pretty accurate. Distinguishing themselves in wide range of disciplines and industries with little concern for tradition or heredity. As such, they can be viewed by other races as overzealous and unprincipled. Yes, uncivilized. That's what we humans are. Uncivilized. All of them? Hey, you know, humans, am I right? I mean, what? Clans. The Here of Eorzea comprises 2 clans, the Midlanders, aka these guys, and who settled in the realm's low-lying regions and the Highlanders, these guys, who claimed the high mountains as their home. This does not, however, represent the entirety of the Huron people. Outside of Eorzea, here can be found in Ilsebard in the north, aka the Empire, Othard to the east, and even as far as the New World. There are manifold clans and houses, and numerous as the stars in the night sky. We got mid-humans. The funny thing is, which, like, I'm gonna give, like, close, they're not one-for-ones, obviously, because one-for-ones would be kind of sketchy, but, they're kind of close to how, like, I guess people view races in our real world, because, like, the Midlanders are kind of, like, I guess the closest you can get to, like, the European white race in our real world, and the Highlanders is close to, like, everything else. Although I'd say in the game, the Highlanders are more Hispanic from what I've seen. They're just, like, really buff Hispanic people, like... And I say this as someone who's, like, half white, half Hispanic. Like, that's the vibe I get from, like, the two races in Final Fantasy 14, is the Midlanders are just white and the Highlanders are just Hispanic. That's all I see. Anyway. Should I start Final Fantasy? I recommend it. I will say, the beginning and the newest expansion are a little hit and miss, but man, everything in the middle is absolute cinema, peak, top of the line MMO storytelling and gameplay, and it's just so freaking unbelievably good. I cannot not recommend the game. It's just so good. I love Final Fantasy 14. So I will say starting the game though is rough. I enjoyed it on my start, but a lot of people struggle through A Realm Reborn because it is a very sluggish story that can get very boring at times. But man, if you stick with it, it is so worth it, because when you get to the first expansion, Heaven's Ward, it hits, man. It hits so good. It's so good. Yeah, I love that game. Also, it's just fun to play in general. Anyway, tongue. In times of eld, countless tongues and dialects were spoken regularly by the various peoples of Eorzea. As migration and cultural exchange between races became more common, a universal language arose, easing the burden of communication between different peoples. The language, which came to be known as the Common Tongue, is now spoken by the vast majority of the realm's residents. It is believed that Huron priests also played a vital role in the creation of the Eorzean alphabet at the end of the Fourth Astral Era, though its precise details are lost to history. Also, I forgot to do something, folks. Because I do believe I can get something up here. Ah! I totally forgot I had this. Okay. Sorry about that. Gremlin Alurin has arrived to read you a book. Yes. Anyway. Dress. The standard attire of Huron adventurers is fashioned from cotton fabrics reinforced with leather for a simple yet functional design. The Huron also favor leather high boots, often said to be a vestige from days of yore when their ancestors crossed the snow-swept plains and harsh peaks of central Ilsebard, which is right here. These images right here. He looks mighty puntable. Yes, punt me. You might not like the outcome, but punt me. I don't know why I sounded kind of British for a second, but whatever. Anyway, Midlanders. Time to read about the two major races. Distribution the world over. Yes, they're everywhere. Physical attributes. Midlanders are typically shorter in stature than their Highlander cousins, with any man exceeding 22 ilms seen as quite large, and even the tallest of women rarely reaching 67 ilms. Compared to the other races, they are remarkably average in build and physique. Yes, humans being average. I wonder who decided that. They often display a keen aptitude for magic, with Midlander mages adept in teleportation magic serving a vital role in many an adventuring party. That is not what I would have where I would have expected that to go, but okay. An ilm is like the Final Fantasy version of a qubit. If you know what a qubit is, that will I can explain. If you don't know what a qubit is, I can I'll just explain it. So a qubit, if you don't know your ancient history or biblical history, like back in like early days of human history, back when like Egypt was a world power and the Persian Empire was a thing and the Babylonian Empire and blah blah blah. Yeah, that like the qubits is like the earliest human version of measurement, which is pretty much just taking your arm to your elbow and using that to measure, like the tip of your fingers to your elbow, and that was like a qubit. And then ilm in Eorzea is pretty much a qubit, from what I understand. So it's like their ancient version of measurement, pretty much. You're European, yeah, that makes sense. So you're in the metric system, whereas I am in the Americanized system because we have to be different from everybody over here. Anyway. Okay. Nomic. Oh gosh, I used to have trouble saying this word in school, and I have to say it now. Gosh dang it. Nomenclature? I'm probably butchering that so bad. Anyway, Midlander names are comprised of words in the common tongue with surnames typically derived from the vocation, place of residence, or physical appearance of one's ancestor or ancestors. Baker, Miller, and Fisher are common names. Examples of names rooted in a family trade, while a name like Stone may be traced to an ancestor who lived beside a rocky outcropping, or one with a stubborn personality akin to hard stone. Yeah, that sounds about right. Are there dwarves in Final Fantasy? This is actually the most accurate answer I can give, and it is the quote of a very popular meme. Yes, but actually no. But that is so accurate, because technically speaking, there are, but there aren't. Do you care about spoilers? Because I can explain what's going on with dwarves in Final Fantasy, but it kind of spoils a major plot point later in the game. So, but yes, if you want me to explain, not really. Okay, I won't explain that, but I will say this. If you want to be a dwarf, Lalafell is the class you would have to go, and you can eventually get a certain thing later in the game that just makes you look like a dwarf as a Lalafell. But yes, because without explaining, well, now remember, I'm not a story guy. You're not the dolls? Oh gosh. Okay. Man. As a story lover, that hurts my heart. Anyway, so I guess I will explain then, because, all right, so pretty much later in the game, you go to like another parallel universe where like everyone's the same but different, because in that parallel universe, the Hyur are called humans, the Elezen are called elves, and everything's more accurate to like your classic fantasy setting. I forget what Makote are called. It's something cat something. But yeah, you pretty much have that. But the Lalafells don't even exist. And you're like, wait, what happened to the Lalafells? And then you find out there's dwarves. And then you meet the dwarves and they look like dwarves. But then you find out that the dwarves are actually a disguise. And underneath the dwarf disguise is just a Lalafell. But you can get that disguise unlocked as a cosmetic later and just make your Lalafell look like a dwarf. So it does exist. So, the closest thing to a dwarf, yes, is a Lalafell, unfortunately. But if you wanted to start out as a potato hobbit, because that's pretty much what they are, it's just hobbits, you can eventually evolve your potato hobbit into a dwarf. So, but there are also a lot of races in this game that are not really in any other fantasy setting in other places, or not to the level they are in here, such as my second favorite race to the Elezen, or the elves, which is the Ara, or the dragon people. I love the dragon race, or the lizard race, whatever you want to call them. I love them. They're my second favorite, followed by the one that is not in this book because it would probably be in a follow-up book, which is the Bun Race. I love the bunnies. Bunny people. Also, Alpha, thank you for the canteen refreshment. I appreciate it. I will do that now. Hydration. Excuse me. Okay. That is not what I wanted to click. Don't mind the background music. Definitely not woo-wah music or anything. Anyway. If you guys heard that. Anyway. Culture. Quick to adapt to local customs and traditions wherever they settle. Midlanders excel at acquiring and refining new knowledge. For example, it was a Midlander culinarian who created the popular dish known as bouillabaisse? I'm butchering that. Inspired by the simple seafood stews favored by the sea-wolf fishermen. As befitting their status as contributors to the Eorzean alphabet, Midlanders show a proclivity for letters and have made considerable contributions to literature through the ages. Such contributions also extend to the fine arts. Midlander artists, as one example, were the first to employ perspective in their paintings. Interesting. That sounds about right, knowing humans. I've seen way too many art of the Final Fantasy bunnies, mainly on a specific character, which I don't remember the name. Oh boy. Yes, art. I'm sure I can imagine what that is. I'm thinking of what Uma I want to do. Roll a dice, move your mice. Nobody gets hurt. I mean, what? Meanwhile, me, who sees more art of the auras than anything else, but maybe that's because I'm biased. Maybe my algorithm knows I'm biased. Oh, gosh. But I do love my aura. But I also love dragons, so that's why I love them. Not as much as my elves, though. I am very biased toward elves, which is literally the next page anyway. The most populous clan of the most populous race, comprising over half of all here. Midlanders can be found in city-states and villages, the realm over, earning their keep in myriad trades and vocations. A highly cultured people, Midlanders have traditionally compensated for the lack of exceptional physical prowess with enterprise and ingenuity, contributing to great advances in all manner of disciplines. Indeed, many of the realm's greatest inventors and innovators have been Midlanders, with some exceptions. A comparatively large number of Midlanders are educated in letters from a young age, giving rise to a healthy population of academics and intellectuals. Sounds about right. Yeah, okay, I will say this, Silver. Harurara is amazing. Everyone loves Harurara. However, she is no longer my favorite, I guess you could say, daughter, sort of, in Uma Musume, because Rice Shower is now my new favorite. Rice Shower is so precious, and her and Harurara are best friends anyway, but yes, I'm a Rice Shower fan. Rice Shower is best. Why is there a gremlin at Laren? Because I am gremlin. Punt me, don't punt me. You will not like how it ends. Anyway, what? Anyway. Highlanders! Distribution gear Albania. Al amigo. Oh no. Not the Migos. I mean, what? What am I saying? Physical attributes. Highlanders are notably taller and more muscular than Midlanders, with full-grown men reaching towering heights of nigh 80 elms. 80 elms? I really gotta figure out what that converts to in real life measurements. Or what it's closest to converting to. Some posit that the impressive Highlander physique is the fruit of countless generations spent residing in harsh, unforgiving mountain climbs, where the air is thin and each day a struggle for survival. Though some discount this theory, none can deny that the physical prowess of the Highlanders greatly outstrips that of a Midlander cousins. Nomenclature, or however you say that word. Like Midlanders, Highlanders' names have their origins in words of the common tongue. One difference of note is that prevalence of violent-sounding surnames rooted in the epithets and monikers earned on the battlefields of war toward Garabania. Given names display the influence of northern dialects, often bearing more than a passing resemblance to those of the Rodigan Seawolf clan. Bastard son of a seawolf is an insult, often hurled at Highlanders in tavern brawls, not infrequently with painful consequences for the fool who uttered it. Oof. Yikes. Culture. With a spiritual tradition dating back to times of yore, Highlanders are known to sport wood-carved talismans woven into their underclothes and votive tattoos adorning their bodies. While some find Highlander aesthetic sensibilities crude, one cannot deny their uniqueness and in the manner in which they evoke unadulterated strength of nature. Such ruggedness can also be seen in their preferred fare. Highlanders often dine on simple yet impressive dishes, such as majestic goat steaks, oh my, seared perfectly to seal in the natural juices. Overcooking is taboo in Highlander kitchens to the degree that some consider them raw meat eaters. Oh gosh, not the raw meat. Descendants of a people who followed the stars to the mountains of Girobani in the wake of the Sixth Umbral Calamity, Highlanders founded the city-state of Alamigo, a bastion of military might until its fall to the Garlean invasion 2 decades agone. Many stayed behind, and now live a toilsome life under the yoke of their imperial masters, who, while those that fled their homelands now live as refugees in Eorzea. Their numbers are greatest in the Shroud and greater in Thanalan, where their presence has resulted in no small degree of social strife. Among the refugees are those who have put their considerable martial talents to use as sellswords and gladiators. I'm the character cooking all my meals. Hey, culinarian. I approve. Still my most level crafting class in that game. And now for my favorite, my Ellison. Definitely not biased at all or anything. Anyway. Slender of body and long of limb, the Ellison were once the predominant race of all Eorzea, and to this day harbor a deep pride at being the chosen race of the gods. They boast the longest lifespan of all races by a slight margin, because elves. Ah, yes, elves. History. According to their own histories, the Ellison are the original inhabitants of Eorzea, having called the realm home since the first astral era. A heritage they take pride in to this day. In those bygone times, they lived a pastoral like pastures, okay, life on the vast, fertile plains, but were displaced to the outer reaches as their hereditary lands were overtaken by the Hyur, who had migrated to the realm in great numbers. Time and again, they waged bloody war against the Huron invaders. In time, however, the two races came to a mutual understanding, and they live in harmonious coexistence to this day. Yes. That's funny that the humans and the elves... That's very similar to Lord of the Rings, where they're like, the humans and the elves are the first two to, like, meet, fight each other, duke it out, and then say, actually, there's much worse things to fight. We should team up, and then they just team up and they never fight each other again. That's pretty much universal between, like, Lord of the Rings and Final Fantasy. It's pretty funny. But identity. Valuing discipline and order above all, and with a natural proclivity for organization and collaborative effort, the Ellison made great contributions in the founding of the city-states of Ishgard and Gridania. That these great nations still stand strong centuries later is a remarkable testament to the Ellison talent for governance. On the other hand, their preoccupation with history and tradition, tendency to relive past glories, and propensity for pretentious speech can occasionally alienate them from other races. Yes, because elves. Classic elves. Clans. The two most predominant Ellison clans are the forest-dwelling Wildwood Ellison, which is still my favorite, who make their home in the Shroud, and the reclusive Duskwight. aka Dark Elves. The former have a long history of cooperation with Tahir, having jointly formed the forest nation of Gridania, while the latter have long since eschewed contact with the other races to pursue their own path in the shadowy seclusion of Eorzea's deep tunnels and caverns. As such, the Wildwood and the Duskwite each consider each other traitors to their race, and tensions between the two clans continue to the present day. Yes, indeed. They like to talk about how good they are. 90% of them, they have one of the smallest numbers in any race. Yes, but. Elves are always, as the longest lived race in both Lord of the Rings and Final Fantasy, they are always, even though they can be kind of stuck up sometimes, they are always the wisest, and especially against villains and evil beings and evil races of whatnot that have existed since time immemorial. The the elves who have been fighting them also since time immemorial are the best people to go to as allies. So, and usually also elves make up for shorter numbers and the fact that they live like quadruply longer than any other race. So it's like, kind of makes up for it in the lifespan. But anyway, tongue. Though the Elezen opted... wait a minute, hold on. I'm reading this wrong. Though the Elezen adapted the common tongue to facilitate communication with the Huron allies, the old Elezen tongue is far from a dead language. On the contrary, numerous words from the old tongue have found their way into a common parlance, earning a place in the day-to-day vocabulary of other races. Literally Lord of the Rings. Literally Lord of the Rings elves, oh my gosh. Dress. The Elezen tend to dress to favor sharply cut attire that accentuates their slender physiques. Even their functional adventurer's garb is crafted with an eye for fashion, down to the exquisite silver work that adorns it. The heightened aesthetic sensibilities of the Elezen are not limited to clothing, and can be observed in their numerous contributions to myriad genres of the fine arts. Yes, because elves. They all have to look like supermodels, because elves. Wildwood Elezen, otherwise known as Wood Elves. Distribution, the Black Shroud, Gridania, still my favorite city-state, and also Ishgard, which is still my favorite expansion, or one of my favorites. Physical attributes. The Wildwood Elezen are long of limb, with males and females oft reaching heights of greater than 80 and 77 ilms, respectively. Yes, tall. With lifespans 1 and 2 lengths, again, as long as their fellow races, their physical maturity is somewhat delayed. It is not uncommon for Wildwood children to look up to their Huron friends in their early teens, only to rapidly outstrip them around the age of 20. Owing in part to their large ears, they possess a sense of hearing keener than that of the other races. The Wildwood Elezen also display a natural affinity for magic, with great mages hailing from this clan seen throughout history. Yes, because elves. If we go by old D&D rules, if a dwarf and an elf have a child, it would create a human. That's very disturbing, and I kind of hate that. Thanks for putting that in my head. I kind of hate it. Anyway, moving on. Gosh dang it, D&D. Nomenclature, however you say this freaking word that keeps making me read it. While the Elezen adapted the common tongue eras ago, remnants of their old tongue can be seen in the spelling and pronunciation of their names, which speaks to the importance they place on tradition. Male names typically lengthy, often ending in syllables oya, o, and a silent... oh gosh, they have a pronunciation guide for this. Yes, yeah. It's very... okay, yeah. I could sum up the pronunciation guide and all this that I'm not going to attempt to read because it's going to sound like I'm having a seizure. By pretty much saying that in I will give respect to the Final Fantasy people who wrote the story, because like Lord of the Rings, when Tolkien created the Elven language, he kind of based it off of Old Celtic mixed with Japanese mixed with something else that I'm forgetting. Actually, was it Hebrew? It might have been Hebrew. I know he mixed, like, kind of, like, took aspects of 3 different languages and kind of created his own language from that, and that was the Elven language, and they kind of did that in Final Fantasy, where they kind of took a little bit of French and a little bit of Japanese and kind of mixed the French and Japanese to make their version of an Elven language, which is pretty cool. But for my own, obviously my own characters in the game, specifically my main character Terumi, who is a Wildwood Elezen, I just used Tolkien Elvish because I actually know some Tolkien Elvish from the little I've been able to actually study it. Anyway, culture. Living a nomadic existence on the plains, the ancestors of the Elezen originated the art of archery to protect their lands and livestock from outside threats. From the strings of the bow were born stringed musical instruments and song and poetry. In turn, yes. Their long and graceful limbs also lend themselves to dance, and the myriad manifestations of Elezen art and culture quickly spread to the surrounding lands and peoples. The Elezen were also pioneers in fashion, their unique tanning techniques and exquisite accessories, earning great renown across the land. Yes, that's very Elezen. The ancestors of the Wildwood Elezen were displaced from their ancestral home on the plains when the Hurons came, or the humans, migrating in part to Coerthas, where they established the nation of Ishgard, and in part to the Shroud, where they formed the nation of Gelmora, the ancient subterranean state that predates Gridania, yes. Though nowadays, Wildwood is typically used to refer to the forest-dwelling Elezen, the Elezen of Ishgard too share the same common ancestry. As such, Gridania and Ishgard have traditionally enjoyed close relations, with each nation rarely coming to the other's aid in times of need. The only difference being is that, well, it doesn't really talk about Sharlayan, but you kind of also have the Sharlayans too, but I think the Sharlayans are kind of a split off Ishgard, if I remember correctly. But once you get farther in the game story, you have the Wildwood Elezen, which are pretty much wood elves. You have the Duskwhite Elezen, which are the just straight up dark elves. Then you have Ishgardian Elezen, which are kind of like wood elves, but they're also not, because they don't live in a forest. They live in the snowy mountains and fight dragons. So they're like unofficial high elves. But then you have the Sharlayan elves, which aren't mentioned in here because that's later in the game when they show up, but they're kind of actual high elves. Because they're very, very scientifically and magically advanced. They live out in the middle of the ocean, in the middle of nowhere on an island, and they also know stuff about the world that no one else knows because high elves. But yeah. The Sharlayan elves is the closest you can get to high elves in this game. Anyway, the ancestors of the Wildwood Elezen were displaced from their ancestral home on the plains when the Hurons came. Wait, I already read that. Yeah, okay, yeah, so we're done with the Wildwood Elezen section, so now to the Duskwhite Elezen section. Dark Elves, which, like, I don't think anyone I've ever seen has made a character for a Duskwhite Elezen, but someday maybe I will, just for the fun of it. Oh, hi, Adexi. Shocker, I come into elves? Yes, of course you do. Why are you surprised? Yes, reading lore about my Elezen, Adexi. It's perfect, okay? Why are high elves called high elves? Okay. Going back to J.R.R. Tolkien, because I'm pretty sure he's the one who can be blamed for all of this. High elves in Tolkien's lore are called high elves because they are they're pretty much like the original race of elves, whereas all the other forms of elves have split off from high elves and turned into their own thing due to certain circumstances. But high elves are like the OGs. So, like, when you have high elves in Lord of the Rings, they're like the ones who have not changed since time immemorial. Like, you travel like 30,000 years in the past and then jump to present day, and the high elves have not changed at all. They're exactly the same. Whereas then you have the split offs that split off from the high elves due to something that happened in history and settled somewhere else and became their own thing. So, like, in Lord of the Rings lore, you have the wood elves who split off from the high elves and eventually settled in places like Mirkwood and Lothlorien and became wood elves. You have dark elves in Lord of the Rings, which are only really talked about in pre-Fourth Age, so it's like before the story of the ring and all that, like Silmarillion stuff. You also had dark elves, but they were mostly in the far west of Middle-earth, and they're like very seldomly mentioned, but they usually are a big plot point when they are. And then you have the Sea Elves in Lord of the Rings, which maintain the harbors, and also the ships at the Grey Havens, and also had a whole thing with Numenor, but that's a whole other thing. So yeah, that's pretty much how elves are in every fantasy, because everyone just kind of either takes inspiration or straight up copies Tolkien when it comes to elves. So, but yeah, high elves are always like the OGs. They're the original, and 9 out of 10 times in a fantasy story, they never change. They're just identically the same throughout all of the history. So is it because they're high 24/7? No. They're just really tall? No. It's like if height was a measurement of time and also, like, I guess both wisdom, intelligence, but also stuck-uppiness and like pride, I guess that it's pretty much high elves in a nutshell right there. You used to play a Duskwhite elf on Sophia? Really? Whatever happened to that, Adexi? Is that character dead now? Sad. Anyway, Duskwhite Elizin. Also in the Black Shroud, obviously. Physical attributes similar in height and build to the Wildwood cousins. The defining trait of the Duskwhite is the color of their skin, which has come to take on darker hues after generations of calling shadowy caverns home. For the self-same reason, they also possess an evolved state of hearing. Their ability to ascertain the source of a sound with unerring accuracy, unaffected by echoes or reverberations, is often likened to that of a shadow-dwelling bat. Yes, because dark elves. I think it's still there, just abandoned. Oh, you were thinking of making an X-Scale one? You should have, Dexy. I approve. I would love to see you make a dark elf. That would be awesome. I approve. I would just wonder what glams you could make for a Duskwhite. I could think of some cool ones I would do if I had one. Anyway. Nomenclature, however you say that word. I hope I'm saying that right. Sharing similar roots in the Old Tongue, Duskwhite names closely resemble those to the Wildwood cousins, though after years of enmity between the two clans, any once shared names have long since been claimed exclusively by one clan or the other. Upon close examination, similarities between Hurid and Elizant, okay, can often be interesting. So they just kind of created a mixed language of human language and elf language. Interesting. I can see how that would be a very dark elf thing to do, though. While some scholars attribute this to a common ancestry shared by the two races, such theories have been roundly dismissed by the proud Elizin. Wow, I'm so shocked. Make one with me? Sure, I'd be down to do that, Adexi. Maybe tonight. Actually, I'm wondering where I should stop this. How many pages do we have here? Okay, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could try to read all of this. Why not? Tonight is Wu Wei. Yes, I am waiting on Wu Wa though. I'm gonna join you guys if you do polls later in Discord, but I'm waiting because I'm gonna be playing it tomorrow on stream, and it's gonna be fun. But yes, tomorrow is Wu Wa day for me, but tonight I am avoiding it like the plague because I want to keep myself spoiler free until tomorrow. So, anywho. Back to reading about Elizin. Culture! The customs of the subtrading city of Gelmora, which I still wish was playable and we could go to, are still practiced by the Duskwhite to this day, from architectural advances developed to stake out comfortable residence in dank, humid caves to mystical wards that serve to stave off the fury of the elementals. The Duskwhite fashioned promenanders, urns engraved with mystic glyphs of great power and filled with fragrant herbs, are an art without parallel in the realm. Duskwhite cuisine is famous for its use of Munte beans, a staple food in the subterranean depths, where they grow in abundance with no need for sunlight. That these dishes have come to be considered a Gridanian delicacy is an iconic twist given the history between the two clans. And then the general lore right here, making their home in deep forests and caverns for centuries. The Duskwight Elezen are the descendants of those who parted ways with their brethren after the founding of Gridania, choosing instead to remain in the stone-hewn chambers of Gelmora, or seek out new subterranean sanctums. Shunning the fetters of governance and society, a great majority of the Duskwight keep a wide berth of the city-states, with some even resorting to brigandry as a means of survival. Yes, which is why if I did make a Duskwight Elezen, I would probably just automatically pick up Rogue as my first class. As a result, they are often looked upon with scorn by the citizens of Gridania, and those who have chosen to make their home in the city often suffer undue discrimination at the hands of their neighbors. Yes, which you can see in ARR in Gridania. Also, hello, Screw Chaos. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Sexiest people of all Eorzea are on this page. Indeed, I love my Elezen. I could talk about Elezen all day. I love my Elezen. Yeah, I am biased, and I admit it. Racism? Yes. Hey, every fantasy fan knows that you cannot be a true fantasy fan unless you have fun role-playing racism once in a while. Especially dwarves and elves, because, you know, gotta love the love-hate relationship that they have in every single fantasy ever written. Which pretty much just boils down to they talk smack about each other nonstop, but still fight side by side at the end of the day, because dwarves and elves. Anywho, time to read about the hobbits, also known as dwarves in a different timeline. But yes, the Lalafels, the potato hobbits. Stocky and squat of nature, the Lalafell are by far the most diminutive of Eorzea's races, typically maintaining a youthful appearance even in advancing years. A Lalafell's true age is oftentimes difficult for members of other races to ascertain. I can see why. Just smack talk the elves, yes. And trust me, the elf players do the same to the dwarves. But, yes, trust me. It's so funny, and it's even something that is joked about in Tolkien's own writing, and Tolkien's kind of the one to blame for the whole thing, is that dwarves and elves are, like, all they do is talk smack about each other all the time, and once in a while they get into a little bit of a dicey situation with each other where it goes a little too far. But at the end of the day, they always end up teaming up, and usually their team-ups are some of the most powerful team-ups you can get, because a dwarf and elf combo fighting together is kind of broken. Also, usually they get, like Gimli and Legolas, for example, they usually will continue talking smack while fighting together, because, yes, love-hate relationship, gotta love it. Anywho. History. Originally an agrarian people hailing from the Southern Isles, Lalafels gradually migrated to Eorzea over the years in pursuit of trade. In the 5th Astral Era, they played a key role in the foundation of the city of Nim on Bilbrand, as well as the mystic city of Miak in the Low... Wait, they founded Miak? What? Okay, now that surprises me, because I thought that would have been the Here that founded Miak, but no, it was the Lalafels. Actually, you know what? Black Mage Lalafels makes sense. I blame you, Yoshi P, okay? It's all Yoshi P's fault. 110%. Wow, Silver. Wow. He's not... Okay. The funny thing is... And this is a meme in the Lord of the Rings community, but everyone thinks Legolas is the coolest until they read the books. And then you read the Silmarillion, there's so many other elves that are just as cool, if not even cooler. I mean, did you know that in the Silmarillion, ancient Lord of the Rings history here, there was actually a city that was built that was a cooperative effort between dwarves and elves to actually try to put aside their differences and build a city together, and it was called Nagathrond, which I named my PC after, by the way, when I built my PC that I'm currently using. But yes, Nagathrond, the city-state in Lord of the Rings that existed in, I think, the First Age, that was dwarves and elves working together, and then it all fell apart because Morgoth, screw him, the big bad before Sauron, manipulated the dwarves and elves to start killing each other, and that all went downhill. But yeah, no, okay. It's propaganda. Wow. 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 Ay, ay, ay. Anyway. Where was I? Oh yeah, I still can't believe the Lalafell made Miak. That's insane. I blame Yoshi P. Anyway, when both civilizations fell in the Sixth Umbral Calamity, the Lalafell were forced to seek new homes. The Nemean Lalafells employed their seafaring talents and returned to the Southern Sea Isles, where the survivors of Miak wandered the lands before eventually settling in the wastes of Thanalan. Identity. While placing a great importance on familial bonds, the Lalafell are by no means extraordinary. This is manifest in the cordial relations they enjoy with their fellow races, and the success they have achieved as the race of traders and merchants, though their singularly minded nature can lead to them being perceived as greedy and calculating. Few can find in their hearts to entirely dislike the Lalafell, with their inherently bright and jovial nature. As such, examples of Lalafell being persecuted by other races are few and far between. And the only time that Lalafells are hated is number one, when they get involved in politics, because anyone that's played a Realm Reborn knows exactly what I'm talking about. And number two, when you go to another dimension and the Lalafells there are dwarves. And by dwarves, I mean they're dwarves in more ways than one. But anyway, clans. The Lalafell are primarily composed of two clans: the grass-dwelling Plainsfolk and the desert-dwelling Dunesfolk. Dunesfolk, yeah, with both tracing their roots to the South Sea Isles. Those slight differences in physical appearance have emerged over the many generations spent living apart. The two clans harbor no particular resentment for each other, and interclan marriages are commonplace, with many Lalafell today possessing both Plainsfolk and Dunesfolk blood. Nice. Tongue. As befitting their status as a race of traders, the Lalafell were unsurprisingly among the first to adopt and master the common tongue of the Huron. Nevertheless, it is said that the old Lalafellan tongue is still spoken today on their island homes to the south. Really? I have a Dawn Trail theory, but I shan't say it because spoilers. Dress. A distinctive element of traditional Lalafellan garb is the scarf, which also serves an eminently, I think that's the word, practical function. It can be unfurled to serve as a signal flag on the wide seas or vast deserts, allowing a Lalafell to stand out beyond his or her modest stature. They are also known to favor relaxed, loose-fitting garments that conceal their naturally rotort builds. Yes, potato. Potato. Plainsfolk. Distribution: Lenoske, the Isle, and the Isles of the Southern Seas. Physical attributes. Averaging some 35 ilms in height, the Lalafell are by far the smallest of Eorzea's races. Yes, short. What they lack in physical appearance, however, they more than make up for in swiftness of reflexes and sharpness of mind. And also, in a different dimension, also drinking power, because dwarf. Underestimating a Lalafell has been a costly mistake for more than a few men. Hair of grassy and earthen colors is common among Plainsfolk, with dubious theories claiming that these hues evolved to camouflage their bearers from the height of the fearsome vultures that roam the skies above their island home. A nomenclature, whatever that word is. Lalafellan names are made up of a given name and a courtesy name bestowed upon reaching adulthood. The latter is not a family name, but rather unique to the individual. Lalafellan names trace their origins to songs and poems in the Old Tongue and are ruled by rhyme, rhythm, and repetition. Many male Plainsfolk names, such as Elak Solka, feature an ABCB rhythm scheme. What the heck? With female names such as Mimomo Mimo are... Oh, it's very musically based. That's funny. And that's even funnier because every time I see a Lalafell character in a Final Fantasy game, it's always one of two things. Either it is a food name, like Little Cupcake or something like that, or it is something that is just, oh dear goodness, why? like I'm trying to think of some of the abomination names I've seen on Lalafell characters, because some of them are just, why? Why would you name a character that? Like, I think one I saw was like abomination of something, and is like, what? Also, there was one where it literally just looked like someone mashed their keyboard for a name. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, Lalafell names are some of the most cursed things you'll ever see on the planet, and it's great. Anyway. Culture. On their island homeland to the south, the Plainsfolk lived as farmers, residing in thatched roof houses connected by subterranean tunnels modeled after ant colonies. What? Are we saying that Lalafells are... Oh, gosh. Lalafells are ants? What the heck? New racist insult unlocked? No, I'm joking. That's bad. Gosh. Their gardening and horticultural skills knew no peer, and it was in this capacity that they shined as pioneers of new and therefore untold lands. Making the most of their light and compact bodies, they traveled remarkable distances in simple yet sturdy canoes, developing their own unique seafaring and navigational methods, which they employ to great success as fishermen and maritime traders even today. Seen in the greatest numbers on Vilbrand, the Plainsfolk trace their history to the maritime traders who settled in Limsalaminsa to deal in pillaged and plundered wares. In the years to follow, they were joined by their families who would become pioneers of the greater Lenoske region. While their descendants today are predominantly farmers, there are those who turned to shipping and fishery in those years when skirmishes with the kobolds stalled further exploration of the continent. Today, the Plainsfolk represent a significant part of the Lominsan populace and are known for their relaxed, comfortable lifestyle. If I start Final Fantasy XIV, I am naming my Lalafell Grongus the Fink. Oh gosh, that is such a Lalafell name too, and I hate it. Ugh. 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 You know what? Hold on. I gotta show you what the dwarf armor looks like. Let's see if I can find an image. Because the dwarf armor in Final Fantasy XIV is both awesome and cursed at the same time, and it's glorious. Where is it? Let's see if I can find an image of it. Oh my gosh, I instantly found one. Literally instantly found one. Also, why is there a very buff dwarf here? Oh gosh. Actually, this is a perfect image. Can I get... Let's see. Let's see if I can get this to show up on OBS. Browser. Let's just name it that. Ignore that. Well, it's a little scuffed because OBS is being stupid, but ignore the random text. But yes, this is what the dwarf armor looks like later in the game when you get to a certain part in story, and then you could just make your Lalafell look like this, and then at that point you're just a dwarf. So yay, dwarf. It looks cute and goofy, and I love it. Yes. Yes. If you want to be a dwarf in Final Fantasy, here you go, right here. Looks more like a mech than a dwarf. It's funny you say that, because I'm not even gonna lie, because this game has crossovers. There is a crossover with another video game series that is all happens because a dwarf decided to blow something up they shouldn't have blown up. And it causes a crossover between Final Fantasy XIV and Nier Automata. I am not joking. Yes, a dwarf blows up something with dynamite, and it causes a crossover with a bunch of androids from another universe that are fighting aliens. Why? I don't know, but it's all due to a dwarf using dynamite in a mine. Yes. Yes, the game with 2B. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. There's a crossover between Final Fantasy XIV and Nier Automata. The game with 2B, and it all happens because a dwarf blows up something with dynamite. It's still so funny to me. How? You'll have to play the game to find out. That's all I will say. You have to play the game to find out. That sounds like stuff a dwarf 100% would do on accident. Yes. Yes, it does. Ay, ay, ay. Anyway, Dunes folk. In Thanaland, big shocker. Physical attributes, the degree to which the Dune folk have adapted to their surroundings, can be seen in their tan skin, able to withstand the harsh rays of the sun that beat down on Thanaland, and their eyes, clear as glass with pupils covered in a thin membrane to keep out the sand. Many are... Oh, sand. Oh no, Anakin crying in background. Many are blessed with an aptitude for magic, with Dune's folk accounting for numerous accomplished thaumaturges, as well as high-ranking members of the Order of the Nathald Clergy. Dune's folk miners also rival the Rhodogan in their numbers and accomplishments, making up for their lack of brute strength with resourcefulness and the ability to delve into the narrowest tunnels. Yes, just don't go too greedily or too deep. I forgot how much the Dune's folk are just like about elves. Or not elves, dwarves. Wow. Bleh. Brain fart. But yes, the Dunes folk are the closest to dwarves that you can get as Lalafels without actually going to the dwarf Lalafels from another universe and another expansion. But that's besides the point. Anyway, who cares about Lalas? Someone in chat, Adexi. Hey, they might be hobbit potatoes that also are dwarves in another universe, but hey, some people like them. Somehow. Dune folk names are at a glance similar to those of the Plainsfolk cousins, but closer examination reveals subtle but sure differences in their rhyming schemes. Okay, so I love how names in the lore are just very musically based, like Mamodi Modi, but like in actual player names, Lalafell names are always cursed beyond compare, or they're just named after food. Ugh. Culture. While many are familiar with the Dunesfolk custom of attaching a small orb to the forehead as a symbol of their guardian deity, it is less well known about this practice. This practice dates back to and serves to honor their ancestors, the sorcerers of Mayak. Another unique Dunesfolk practice is that of feeding their children cups of herb tea, infused with minuscule potions of diluted snake and scorpion venom. What? Why? As such, Dunes folk raised in traditional households often display a remarkable resistance to certain poisons. Oh, I see. And then here, the sons of fallen Miak concealed themselves in the remote outlands for a time before venturing into Thanaland in caravans propped on the backs of great beasts of burden. Living a nomadic existence in the sandy waste, they came to be called by the name they bear today. It was the Dunes folk who founded the great civilization of Beldia, which would later splinter into Silda and Ulda, the latter of which prospers still today. Practical by nature and swift to put ideas into action, their temperament is well suited to seizing business opportunities. Oh gosh, and it is little surprise that they played a great role in building Ulda into the bustling center of trade and commerce it is today. Yes, because all of the Dunes folk are either manipulative politicians, destructive mages of immense power, or miners. That is all the Dunes folk Lalafels in a nutshell, and they cause all the problems. And we're finally at the cat people. Oh no, it's the cat girls. Run, not the cat girls. Wait, which Final Fantasy I want to start? 14. So I will say this, if you're getting into Final Fantasy 14 Silver, it has a free trial. So try the free trial out, and if you want to commit to getting a subscription, because it has a subscription to continue playing the game once you actually buy a subscription. Yeah, it's an MMORPG. So it's like other MMOs like World of Warcraft, Lord of the Rings Online, Elder Scrolls Online, Guild Wars 2, I could go on. It's like that. It is a MMORPG. It does have a free trial for the base game and the first expansion. The only negative of the free trial is that everything co-op wise that you could play with friends is all limited. Like, you can't form a party or something when you're on the free trial, but other people that have a paid subscription can invite you to their party. So that's like the main annoyance of the free trial. But I would still use the free trial, try the game out, and then if you get enough into the game that you're like, yeah, I could see myself getting a subscription and playing once in a while, then go from there. You also have to buy the expansions if you get to that point, but like I said, the first two expansions, yes, thank you, Dexy, the first two expansions, Heavensward and Stormblood, are all in the free trial, completely free to play, and the base game, A Realm Reborn, also in the free trial, completely free. Like I said, the main limit you will have on the free trial is that doing stuff like forming a party is something you just can't do. If you want to play with friends, you have to find a friend that has a paid subscription and they can invite you to their party. You also can't join like a free company, which is like player guilds. So like, I have a free company, so if you join and you play like on my server or something, if down the line you get a subscription, I could invite you to my guild. But while you're on the free trial, you wouldn't be able to join, so I wouldn't be able to invite you until you get a paid subscription. But yeah, pretty much everything co-op is locked. Yeah, and also market boards. Market boards are the in-game player economy, but again, it's all co-op. It's really all co-op stuff that's locked in the free trial. So, but I still would start the game on free trial. That way you can see if you want to continue the game or not. And if you're really enjoying the game, then later on you can buy a subscription and buy the expansions. But anyway, back to reading lore, and now we're on, oh gosh, the cat girls. The Makote! Yes, the race that made this game famous and made all the World of Warcraft players run over to this game. Oh gosh. Anyway, a race distinguished by their large feline ears and supple tail. For reasons that are not entirely clear, female Makote vastly outnumber males. Gee, I wonder why, game! I wonder why. Maybe it's because like half of the entire internet sees Final Fantasy 14 and goes, I'm gonna make a cat girl. Oh, cat girl, yay. Save me, chat. Save me. A phenomenon unique among Eorzea's races. Yeah, gee. I wonder why cat girls outnumber cat boys, game. Yeah, oh, gee. Crazy. Yeah, Sodexy, your wife. Yeah. Yeah, that definitely not a pink cat girl or anything. Nope. History. The Makote are descendants of a hunting people that crossed over the frozen seas to Eorzea in search of prey during the Age of Endless Frost, when famine gripped the land. Cleaving to their old way of life, they have largely accepted their status as one of Eorzea's less populous races. Lies! In the actual lore, it says the here, right here, are the most populous race. But in gameplay, man, cat girls. Not like, I would say arguably 70% of the entire game's player base has cat girls. Why? I don't know. It's like, yes, queues for a dungeon or raid. Oh look, everybody's a cat girl. Gee, I'm so shocked. Freaking cat girls, man. Anyway, where was I? Fiercely territorial and proud of their traditions, it could be said that the Makote are unsuited to life in the city-states. Nevertheless, as natural-born hunters given to a nomadic lifestyle, many Makote have achieved great success as adventurers. I see. Identity. A common trait among all Makote is their fierce pride for their heritage as hunters. Seeing themselves as part of the natural world itself, they prize above all the freedom of the hunt, and do not shun death when old age and infirmity sap them of the physical talents needed to pursue their quarry to their satisfaction. To the free-willed Makote, they're free-willed all right, Other races' way of life, their want to flock together with their own kind to overrun nature, to build cities, to seek safety and stability in laws and alliances, must seem quite curious indeed. Oh, curious. Yes, curious. Curious. Gee. Curious cat. Yeah, I've heard this before. Oh, gosh. Clans. The Makote are roughly divided into two clans. The diurnal seekers of the sun and the nocturnal keepers of the moon. The former hunt under the light of day, while the latter prowl at night, and it is believed that the stark difference in habitat arose due to unique physical differences between the two. Furthermore, within each clan exist numerous tribes, each with their own unique culture, customs, and hunting methods. It can hardly be said that all Makoti of the same clan share a common set of beliefs. Gee, that does not surprise me. Didn't stop them from invading Limsa? True, Adexi. Tongue. Despite their inherently solitary nature, the Makote adopted the common tongue early on, born of a need to banter with the other races to procure materials with which to craft their hunting tools and weapons. Remnants of the old tongue can be observed in the distinctive Makote hunt speak, a system of tongue clicks and whistles used to communicate with the companions while in pursuit of a quarry. Wait a minute. I want to say something so bad. Oh, chat. I'm gonna get myself banned from Twitch. Oh. Okay, move on, alert, move on. I have new insults for Catgirl players, that's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, dress. The agile Makote favor freedom of movement above all else, shunning unwieldy armor that might restrict the range of motion. Yes, maybe that's why all the Catgirls I see are wearing bikinis. Makote legwear is invariably perforated with a hole through which the tail dangles free. Oh boy. Allowing them to maintain their unerring sense of balance. Gosh. Seekers of the Sun. Tell Anna Kitty on you. Gosh dang it. Distribution. Lenoske, Limslaments, the Sagoli Desert, Girobanya, and just elsewhere in general, because cat girls are everywhere. You can't stop the cat girls, chat. Physical attributes. Roughly a head shorter and smaller of body than the average here. The Seekers are blessed with a wiry strength, surpassing agility and the stamina to run for hours under the blazing sun, a combination of traits that makes them uncommonly suited to hunting and arid climes. As many Seekers are adept at climbing and diving, they also make for excellent sailors. Among their most striking physical features are their eyes, with their narrow, vertically aligned pupils and faintly colored irises. I see. Nomenclature. Each of the 26 Seeker tribes adopted a tribal name taken from one letter of the Eorzean alphabet, which, be it coincidentally or by divine fate as the Seekers believe, contains the self-same number of letters. Wow! Wow. In the female name Ratuskariki, the R represents the tribe, whereas Asha is the given name, and Riki, oh gosh. Patronymic taken from the breeding male. The breeding male? I'm moving on. The male Seekers contain no patronymics and instead are appended with a title denoting their position in the tribe. None for breeding males and Tia for all others. Oh gosh. Wait, so they have... Wait a minute. So they have specific males that their only purpose is to breed, whereas all the other males can do just whatever they want? Okay. Gonna die. Gonna die, chat. Culture. The Seekers of the Sun are a highly patriarchal culture, with each tribe centered around a strong breeding male. His duty is it to form a harem and lead his people to glory and prosperity. I'm literally face palming. Oh. Oh. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'm seeing where the anime fans are happy here. No, young males are born and raised as Tia and must either assume the position of breeding male by challenging and defeating an existing one in single combat. Oh my gosh. Or leave the community to find a harem of his own. What am I reading? In particularly large tribes, multiple breeding males may coexist in the same community, though such cases are rare. Oh, I hate this! Why? Whoa! Oh, this is the warrior quest line all over again in Dexy. I hate this. I actually hate that. Okay, Silver, whatever. Anyway, unsurprisingly, giving their self-bestowed clan names, Seekers of the Sun count numerous devotees of Zem the Warden among their ranks. Okay, move on. While their overall numbers are not great, their 26 tribes are scattered across all reaches of the realm, with small seeker settlements to be found from the sands of the Sagoli Desert in southern Thanalan to the jagged peaks of Girobania. Yet other seekers have settled in Limsalaminsa, drawn to the freedom of pirate life. Many seekers, particularly those of younger generation, choose to set off as adventurers, perhaps heeding the same call of the wild their ancestors once heard. Yeah, that. Yeah. The harems are certainly wild. I mean, what? Keepers of the Moon. Moving on. Distribution: the Black Shroud. Now I see why people love the cat people. You have no idea. Physical attributes. Save for their longer tail, the keepers are nearly identical to their seeker cousins in physical stature and can be distinguished by their fur, dark as night fog, and the large pupils of their eyes. Though lacking the physical stamina of the seekers, they make up for this with the keen strength of will and the unerring instincts. With their keen intuition, keeper hunters have been known to easily snare even targets concealed in the gloom of night. I see. Nomenclature, the word that I hate reading. The Keepers of the Moon are a highly matriarchal society, and this is manifested in their names. In the female name Oki Doblo, Oki is a given name to which is attached to the mother's surname Noblo. Female and male names show little distinction from each other, with both comprised of short, powerful syllables. The matriarchal tendencies can also be seen in male names, which replace the given name with a what is this word? Matronymic? Matronymic? Oh gosh. Which is appended a suffix indicating birth order? What is this lore with cat girls, man? Oh, hi, Andeg. Somehow this lore seems much more realistic after the game I played last night. You know what? Okay. Andeg, sometimes it's bad to have enough lore in your game. Such as the game you were playing last night, which was so bad it was kind of good, but the lore was just like, what is this acid trip and what is happening? And then sometimes there's too much lore. This right here is an example of too much lore. I did not need to know about breeding male harems and birth order, okay? This is not knowledge I need to know. And it's all cat girls. I hate cat girls. Cat girls and cat boys, okay? No, stop. We've gone too far. We've gone too far, chat. It was so good. It surely was something, Andy. You must suffer for your curiosity. Don't hate the cats. Cat girls can't breed them. Okay, you know what? We're moving on. Though these suffixes number 10 really are more than 2 or 3 sons born to even the largest keeper families. Good, I think. Culture. In contrast to the Seekers of the Sun, with their male-dominated tribes and harems, the The fundamental unit of Keeper of the Moon society is the family, centered around a strong mother figure and her children. Keepers are known to form small communities composed of 2 or 3 families who hunt together. They are also known for decorating their faces with war paint before going on the hunt, a tradition symbolizing their readiness and resolve to stain their hands with blood, as well as sending a message to their gods that they are prepared to serve them as warriors in the afterlife should they fail. As might be surmised from their self-chosen name, the majority of the Keepers of the Moon are devout followers of Menfina. Yes, gee, I wonder why the goddess of love is the goddess of the cat girl race that apparently loves having harems and breeding. And okay, moving on. They reside and hunt freely in the Shroud, where for many years they came in conflict with the people of Gridania, who saw the Keepers as little more than poachers. In recent years, however, the two sides have reconciled their differences, and today many Keepers hunt in accordance with rules set by the Trappers League, bartering in furs and meats they procure for agricultural goods and essential commodities. Others, however, refuse to bend to these rules, poaching the woods and laying waste to the nocturnal environment as they see fit. Moving on! No, we don't. Go back and start all over. I didn't quite catch the lore. No! Go back to the... No! You guys suck. You know, she's also the goddess of the moon, right? Yes, she is. Gosh dang it. Lauren says she... Yeah, reading. The B was... There was no B there. Okay, Twitch, no B. It was just reading. Yeah, cat girls... And cat boys love reading, yes. Without a B at the beginning, yes. Indeed. Thank you, Ending, for the save. Anyway, moving on! The Rogadin. Massive and heavily muscled, the Rogadin are easily the most imposing of Eorzea's races. Oft-seen vying with one another in feats of strength, they can appear barbaric to the uneducated observer, but in fact are known to be honorable and compassionate people. The histories are filled with tales of Rogadin warriors and their courageous deeds. I still don't know what exactly the Rogadin are supposed to be, because they're pretty much humans, but they're also not. They're like, I don't know. It's interesting, but they're also very big. So it's what you pay me for. I pay you. Moving on. History. The Rogadin are a marine-time folk hailing from the bleak isles of the northern Empty. Their name meaning people of the rain. They still maintain a strong presence in their ancestral home on and around Erzerland? I hope I said the right first land in the old tongue, where many Rogadin fled several centuries ago to free themselves from a reign of a despotic tyrant. Oh my. As is often told, they came ashore on Vilbrand, and the city of Limsel rose to prosperity not long thereafter. Yes, it's all their fault that Lima Bean exists. Anyway, many years prior to this, an entirely different group of Rogadin had crossed over to the continent and settled in the mountains, where their descendants, the Hellsguard, reside to this day. Not to be confused with the Hell Divers. I mean, what? He pays me in reading material? I do? Does he pay it? Oh gosh, no! Moving on. Identity! Gosh dang it, chat. From the angry seas of the northern Empty to howling mountain peaks, the Rogadin have historically made their homes in rugged and hospitable climes. Theirs is a culture that exalts the strong and looks down upon the weak, both among their own kind and outsiders. This is by no means limited to feats of physical strength. Even a wee Lalafell might win a Rogadin's respect with a display of mystical power or strength of will. Those who show no such qualities, however, will find it difficult to convince a Rogadin to do so much as give them the time of day without an exchange of coin. Ouch. I hate all of you in chat right now so much. Clans! The Rogadin are roughly grouped into 2 clans. The Sea Wolves, descended from the seafaring peoples of the north, and the mountain-dwelling Hellsguard. Though those belonging to either clan can be found elsewhere in the 3 continents. This includes Garlemald, where Rogadin officers can be sighted wreaking havoc on the battlefield in the name of the Empire, having been assimilated under Garlean yoke. Tongue. Well, the old Rogadan tongue lives on in Ezerland and the Alberthrian Highlands. The Rogadan of Limslaments, as well as those who ply their trade as sellswords and adventurers, have learned the common tongue, born out of the necessity due to their frequent contact with other races. So giants? Not as, yeah, I'd say they're probably the closest you can get to a playable giant in any MMO. But they're also like Vikings. So they're like mini giant Vikings. I don't know really a better way to describe them. It's very interesting. They also are called fish people by the community, although I don't think there's any relation outside of their ancestors being seafarers to them being related to fish in any way, but you know, whatever. Dress. Traditional Rogadan garb is designed as if to flaunt the wearer's imposing physique, with the biceps in particular strikingly exposed. Yes, because muscles. The lower arms are typically covered with sturdy leather armaments with unique cross-stitch patterns, serving to further accentuate the Rogadan's massive arms. Yes, they're ripped. I like the idea you call it. What? No! I hate that. What? Why, Anding? Why? Until the game down. Yeah, no. It's an MMORPG. It's a big game. Yeah, MMORPG. That's why. Very big game. Also, jot this down or something, Silver. If you can, make a character on the Primal Data Center, and if you can, on the Excalibur server, because if you do that, then I could eventually play with you. I could help you out. So yeah, try to remember that for when you actually can play the game. Primal Data Center and Excalibur server. If you can't get on Excalibur, at least try to get on the Primal Data Center somewhere. Anyway. Sea Wolves. Distribution, Lenoske. Physical attributes. Giants among Eorzea's races. Rogadan males average some 84 to 90 ilms, while even females reach an imposing 75 to 87 ilms. Their entire bodies, arms, legs, and even the neck are thick with muscle and sinew, and minstrels often liken their limbs to mighty tree trunks. Rogadan hair is thick and hard, with some individuals showing a natural wave. They take pride in their locks and have developed a tradition of unique braids and weaves. I see. Nomenclature. Though sea wolf names can be mystifying at a glance to the layman observer, they follow clear patterns rooted in the old Rogadan tongue. Given names are compounds of two words, the first an adjective or verb, and the second a noun. In the case of females, the second word is also invariably chosen from among the traditional set of... Oh gosh, I am not reading all of that. I will say I can see just from reading the little stuff here about pronunciation and naming and whatnot, I can see the Norse influence. Norse and maybe a little German. But yeah, it's definitely like Northern European influence for the naming here. Which is probably why I suck at saying their names. Anyway. Culture. Unsurprisingly, sea wolves favor fish and other fruits of the sea, prepared with simple and unpretentious seasonings. Yes, the seasoning. They make ample use of salt, which has the added benefit of serving as a preservative on long ocean voyages, and are known for a wide variety of cured food. Sea wolves are notably connoisseurs of ale and wine, while they prefer the more easily perishable water, and many have made a name for themselves as brewers of potent portables. Portables. Hold on. Could I call one of the females? You wouldn't be the first to do it, Silver, I'll say that. Moving on. Is anyone actually listening to this? I don't know, are they? I do somewhat? Wow. Are you still thinking about reading? Gosh dang it, Andang. Gosh dang it. Oh my goodness, Silver, it's 3 a.m. for you? Yikes. I'm just waiting for Zayla. Next page, Adexi. We're saving the best for last. Don't worry. Descendants of a pirate clan long feared as the scourge of the northern empty, the sea wolves hail from the northern islands. The many live there still today. A not insignificant number left the homeland 7 centuries ago, eventually settling in Vilbrand. There they established the maritime city-states of Lima Bean, or Lemslomitza, which prospered and took its place as one of Eorzea's 6 great city-states. True to their seafaring roots, many sea wolves have made their mark as pirates, sailors, and fishermen. Most famous of them all is none other than, I'm going to butcher this because I always butcher her name, Meryl Wib Blofiswain, or something like that. Admiral of Lemslomitza. I hate these names. Lima Bean for the win. Gosh dang it, I blame you, Andang. Also, thank you for the lurk. Hellsguard. Albatha's Spine? Where even is that in the game? I don't remember where that is. Physical attributes. Blessed with the same bulk and brute strength as their sea wolf cousins, the Hellsguard can be distinguished by the color of their skin, which often takes on reddish hues akin to molten rock. Many Hellsguard partake in aesthetic firewalking, training from a young age to bring out their latent mystical talent. It is doubtless due to this age-old tradition that the Hellsguard has produced so many great mages, in addition to the fearsome sword and axe-wielding warriors for which their kind are best known. Yes, warrior. Yes. Oh gosh. Nomenclature. In contrast to the Sea Wolves, the Hellsguard have adopted names rooted in the common tongue that they might be more easily remembered and addressed by other races. In particular, the masters they serve as sellswords. Names consist of 2 words, with male names typically derived from the natural world. Yes, tall mountain. Oh gosh. And female names often taken from flora, like blue lily. Surnames are rare, perhaps owing to the fierce individuality of those that chose to leave their homeland behind. Though few in number, there remain some who still speak the old tongue. Yes. I still am waiting to see a female Rogadin Hellsguard named Mother Mountain. I need Mother Mountain. There, someone can make that character for me. Oh gosh, why am I saying that? Culture. With best station scarce in the mountain home, the Hellsguard believe in letting nothing eligible go to waste, and have traditionally shown little interest in culinary developments or delicacies. Their preferred attire shows a similar propensity for rugged functionality and consists predominantly of unadorned clothing fashioned from animal skins. The influence of the unforgiving climes they call home on their culture is readily apparent, as they value reticence and perseverance above all virtues. Interesting. Few in number, but burning with the fierce pride of warriors, the Hellsguard make their home in the desolate reaches of Abelthia's Spine. I still don't know where that is. Their name is derived from the fiery peaks amidst they founded their village, mountains of flame, where they believe to be the gates to the underworld itself. So they're volcano people. Got it. Alright, now my second favorite race. The dragon people. The Aura. Yes. And we're gonna skip that because no one cares about that. Alright, everyone, thanks for coming. Have a great night. Oh, perfect timing, Silver. You're hitting the hay. My brain is screwed to understand anything besides the interesting cat lore. Good night, everyone. Oh, gosh, you're gonna miss my favorite race, though. The Aura. Sad. Sad. Dragon people are cool. And also, dragon girls are cute. Unfollow. No, stay, Adexi. I'm sorry. Also, take care, Silver. I hope you sleep well. Get some sleep. Thanks for stopping in. And let me know when you start playing. I'll help you out. Anyway, Aura. Hailing from the far eastern continent of Othar, the Aura were a rare sight in Eorzea until most recently, when increasing unrest in their homeland forced a not insignificant number of their people to journey west in search of asylum, including my favorite character in the game, Yugiri. I love Yugiri. Mythos. Ari creation myth tells of a world formed by the Dawn Father Zim and the Dusk Mother Nama. Yes. Nama. Brings to mind a certain thing in the game. Anyway, these 2 deities came to quarrel over which should rule the world and created mortals to serve as soldiers in their war by proxy. These were the first Aura, the Rayan, children of the Dawn Father, and the Zayla, the chosen of the Dusk Mother. Though they waged a bitter struggle in the name of their creators, they eventually put aside their differences and learned to love one another, giving birth to a new generation. Upon seeing this, Azim and Nama returned to the heavens, leaving the world below in the custody of their children. My goodness, Silver. Look at the six-pack on that dude. Yeah, take care, Silver. Man. Are you my Nama? Oh gosh, Dexy. Identity. Possessed of a strong self-preservation instinct, the Aura believe in protecting tribe and family, though the means by which the two clans chose to do so diverge greatly. The Rain coexist peacefully with other races to ensure the safety of their own kind. Wow, the fiercely tribal Zayla, the cooler side, shun relations with other races, even viewing strangers of their own kind as potential enemies to fight in glorious combat. Yeah, that's Zayla, all right. As such, the former are viewed favorably by the outside world, while the latter are typically regarded with suspicion and extreme hostility. Yeah, Zayla. I love Zayla. Gosh dang it. Clans! Most widely known among the Ari clans are the Rayan and the Zayla. The Rayan now make their homes in Central Orthard and the surrounding islands, where they have forged strong relations with the Hyr and other races, adapting readily to new cultures. The Zayla, on the other hand, live still today on the vast Azam steppe, clinging tenaciously to their traditional nomadic, warlike way of life. I see. I'm gonna lie, the Rayan are on to do something about hiding from the world's problems in Bubble Under the Sea? Yes. You know, they might be, you know, willing to trade and adapt cultural stuff from other cultures while retreating to Bubbles Under the Sea. Meanwhile, the Zayla are kill everything, violence and mayhem go brr. Yes. Yes. Blood for the Zayla. Oh, gosh. Tongue. On the steppes, which they call home, the Zayla speak the old Ari tongue to this day. The Rayan, however, have assimilated to Far Eastern culture and have adopted the common tongue of the Hyr. Their spoken language differs some from the spoken in Eorzea, which leads many to perceive it as slightly odd dialect. I see. Dress. Most unique and striking among the traditional dress of the Aura are their belts. Oh boy, which feature predominant scale-shaped patterns. And there's images of their dress here. Inspired by the hardened skins of the Aura themselves, they symbolize health and vitality, while hems appear as if they had been indiscriminately ripped apart. This too is an age-old tradition meant to invoke an air of rugged strength. Wait, is this just implying that the Aura intentionally rip their clothing to make it look cool? Okay, I see how it is. So are we saying that the Aura are just goth? Yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah, just they're just goths. Okay, I see how it is. They're just Mongolians. Okay, that too, but gosh dang it. So if anyone in Eorzea invents ripped jeans, it's gonna be the Aura. Got it. Okay. The Rayan. Distribution Yangsha, aka Doma, the Far East. Physical attributes. The Aura are unique among Eorzea's races in the extreme height disparity observed between genders. While male Aura can reach towering heights of over 80 ilms, females are short and slight, averaging no more than 60. Yes. Short. Their hardened skin and scaled tails, too, distinguish them clearly from other races. They take great pride in the majestic horns that protrude from the sides of their head, which also serve to enhance their hearing and sense of spatial perception. Nomenclature. Oh, here we go. Surnames occupy a special position in Eastern culture, an honor afforded only to aristocrats, warlords, and the warrior class. Many are derived from the names of weapons or military ranks as symbols of their martial prowess, with names including Buen, Yatsugiri, and Obinata. These are very Japanese names. Although not officially recognized, many members of the subordinate classes sport self-bestowed epithets, which are often, but not always, derived from their profession or place of origin. Ari given names are taken from the natural world, with male names generally inspired by strong, uncontrollable forces, such as mountains, seas, animals, or the elements, and female names chosen from plants, seasons, animals, and similarly beautiful and elegant things. This is very Japanese. Very Japanese for the Rayan side. Oh gosh. Yeah, that is so Japanese. Culture. The Rayan have fully assimilated into the cultures of Doma and Hingashi and live faithfully according to the region's traditions. Perhaps owing to their heritage and the status they gained in the service of their warlords, they place particular importance on hierarchy and the master-servant relationship. Again, very classic Japanese. Believing themselves the children of the Dawnfather, the forebears of the Rayan left behind their homeland to settle across Othard. They are perceived with hatred and hostility by other races in the early years until a predominant warlord of Yangsha, impressed with their valor, forged an alliance with the strange race and took them on as retainers. Before long, the Rayan had assumed a predominant role as warriors in the service of countless great warlords. Some ventured across the sea to the Far East, where they earned a reputation as legendary sellswords. There you go. Now the one we actually came to talk about, the Zayla. And also the one I play the most. Zayla, distribution, the Azim Steppe. Actually, I'm going to read this first. Children of the Dusk Mother of Ari creation, the Zayla, have to this day not abandoned their ancestral home, living a nomadic life as hunters and gatherers on the vast Azim Steppe. With suitable grazing land sparse, conflict between individual tribes is common, with tribes forming, disbanding, and dying off in a ceaseless cycle of war and bloodshed. Yes, which you may or may not play the main contest of combat in the actual game of in Stormblood, which was quite fun. At last observation, Zayla tribes numbered 51, though there is a high likelihood that recently splintered or merged tribes have rendered that count outdated. Gosh dang it. Does that mean this list right here that we're going to read then the stream is also outdated? Gosh dang it. Anyway. Zayla, distribution, Azim Steppe, physical attributes. In contrast to the brilliant white scales of the Rayan, the Zayla, children of the Dust Mother, take pride in their scales of lustrous black. While their size and stature is almost identical to that of the Rayan, their physical strength, hardened by generations of war and conflict, far outstrips the other races. Really? Yeah, that makes sense. Nomenclature. Zayla names are relatively orthodox, composed of a given name and a tribal name. They are unique, however, in that they were passed down as sounds instead of letters, as the Zayla did not develop a written language until comparatively recent times. As such, upon coming in contact with lettered cultures, individual Zayla are forced to come up with spellings of their own devising, leading many to perceive their names as needlessly confusing and nigh unpronounceable. Oh no. That's funny. Culture. As nomads, a Zayla tribe is only as wealthy or prosperous as the size of its herd. From horses and oxen to great winged beasts, preferred breeds of livestock vary from tribe to tribe, but nonetheless the herd, with both its quality and scope, symbolizes the strength and status of the tribe as a whole. Meat, fur, skin, bones. The Zayla let no part of any beast go to waste. In this way, the herd provides not only the food and clothing, but even shelter from the elements in the form of tents that serve as temporary housing. The Zayla are known to consume not only the flesh of animals, but their innards and blood as well. Oh gosh. They are also known for their dietary products, including an alcoholic beverage made from beast milk. Those who have partaken of this drink beneath the yurt of a Zayla can take pride in knowing that they have been accepted as a friend, at least for the moment. Yes, for the moment being the key thing. And now the thing I've been waiting to talk about this entire stream. The known Zayla tribes. Oh boy. Adexi, are you here for this? This text is so small. I might actually need to like put my face in the page here. Oh my gosh, there's so many. Oh gosh, why is the text so small, man? Oh gosh. This is gonna be fun. Okay. The Othardinian steppe is a vast region. Therefore, every so often, one may come across a Zayla with a surname that is not found on the list of 51. This may be evident she is from a tribe that was recently destroyed or absorbed. It may mean she is of a new tribe that was formed by members leaving another. It may even mean she is of a tribe that remained hidden in the northern mountains until recently discovered. Oh my gosh. So you're saying this list is insanely unreliable. Thank you, Square Enix. Got it. Yes. I think this is also them just encouraging you to roleplay your own tribe. But anyway, gosh dang it, man. There's so many, dude. Okay, I'm just gonna ask this now. And actually, do you want to join in voice for reading this? Figured I'd extend the invite since this is going to be reading about Zayla for who knows how long. There's so many of them. There's 51 tribes! Holy crap. Sure? Okay, I'll go in the record stream channel in my Discord. If I can find my mouse. Where did my mouse go? Oh, there it is. There we go. Okay, that should have worked. Oh my goodness, and they're all in alphabetical order, which is nice. At least they're all in alphabetical order. I already recognize some of the names from the actual game. Oh my. When I read through this, I'm gonna have to try to... I think I did kind of figure out what tribe I would have, like, pretended that Sapphira is from, but I've long forgotten. Because that was, like, a long time ago. And I don't even think then I... Oh.
I remember when you first got this encyclopedia, you read all the tribes out loud, and it took a while.
Uh-huh. We're gonna do it again, because it has been, like, 4 years since I did that, but...
Was that really 4 years ago?
Yeah, because I bought this about the same year I moved into the townhouse, and that was like 4 years ago. So, because that was back during COVID, so...
Just makes you think about how long I've known you.
Uh-huh. Crazy, right? Also, how long we've been playing Final Fantasy 14. But anyway, let me add a Dexy's Discord reactive real quick.
Okay, I'm gonna take my addition real quick while you do that.
There we go. Put a Dexy down there. There we go. Perfect. Perfection. Okay. All right, once she gets back, we will start reading all of this. The text. The wall of text. That is the Zayla tribes. Well, here, I'm going to take this opportunity to blow my nose, because I need to blow my nose. Hold on, everybody. Okay, I'm also going to hydrate, too, because I'm going to need it for reading this wall of text.
Come back.
Welcome back. I just hydrated because I'm about to read this wall of text, but... Alright. Ready when you are.
I'm ready. Not that I can read that, but you know.
Alright, so yeah, as I read on the top, very unreliable list because apparently, according to Square Enix, tribes can be destroyed, integrated into each other, or just pop out of existence because no one knew this tribe was there. So yeah, very unreliable list, but at least we have 51 of them, so that's gotta count for something. Anyway, starting with the first one, I'm going to butcher some of these names. The Ardarkim? I think it's Ardarkim. The largest of the Zayla tribes, while not the most skilled at battle, they overwhelm with numbers, taking losses in stride, knowing that future victory over a weaker tribe will replenish their ranks. What are they, Skaven? Are they Skaven?
Also, I want to say, pronounce them with confidence. You'll probably be wrong, but as long as you're confident.
I see. Okay.
Yes.
So we have...
It's not Dawn Trail names.
Oh gosh. So the first one is literally just Ara, but if they're Skaven from Warhammer. Okay, cool.
Okay, it kind of makes sense though that in Aura tribe that has that thing because they're like they'll expend as many bodies as necessary to achieve something, and they're like, we're just gonna replenish them with another tribe.
Gosh dang it.
Your life matters nothing. You are replaceable.
Alright, the second one, Angura, a small tribe which keeps mainly on the mountain regions of northern Othard. The glare reflected by the everlasting glaciers upon which they travel has rendered the tribe's skin color a deep rusty tone. Really? Okay, so we have
Foxes.
yeah, we have the Arctic tribe of Zayla, apparently. Interesting. The Aralak? Aralak? I think it's how you say that.
Use confidence.
A tribe thought lost 200 years ago, only recently discovered once again, living in a secluded valley in a random mountain pass north. Okay, that's funny, Square Enix. You're like,
Oh my
oh. Oh man. All right. Evangnar. Evangnar? That sounds like an orc name. Though defeated and absorbed by the Articheum, several of the Proud Tribe's members still secretly use its ancestral name, knowing that it could mean death if they are discovered. Oh my gosh, they're the rebels! They're the rebels in the big tribe! Oh man. Why is it even listed as a 51 faction when they're secret? Okay. What the heck? Baron. I wonder if the A is silent or the I is silent in that. Anyway, a middle-sized tribe of the southern deserts and masters of survival in the driest of climes. The Byron, it might be Byron, are all trained from a very young age to collect and drink their own bodily fluids. Oh gosh, I remember reading this one the first time we read this, Adexi. Allowing them the ability to venture deep into places no other tribe will dare go. Yes, because they drink their own body fluids. We're not gonna talk further on that. The Bayaquad tribe. A tribe of the steppes' southwestern edges. Women from the Bayaquad tribe will traditionally take several husbands. Oh gosh, reverse harem. As did the tribe's founding matron 2,000 years ago. Oh gosh, she had a reverse harem.
Yes, she certainly did.
Oh no.
What is I just want to know, what is it with Final Fantasy and harems?
Do we want to know the answer to that question?
Maybe not.
The Bollier.
And they could probably love the answer though.
Oh, probably. The Bollier tribe, a small tribe that earns its living by collecting the dung of beast-kid herds which roam the steppes. That's disgusting. The dung is dried, turned into charcoal in temporary kilns, and sold to all the other tribes. Okay. Okay. So they're the dung tribe. Got it. That sounds...
Oh no, they're dung beetles.
I'm just gonna say that out of all the tribes, that one sounds the most shitty. Okay, that was bad. Okay. Don't ban me, Twitch. Anyway,
He's talking about reading.
The Borlak tribe, a tribe of all women, while breeding with men from other tribes is allowed. While breeding with other men from other tribes is allowed, if a male is born into the tribe, he is given up within a year of birth. Oh gosh.
Jesus.
What the heck? The Baduga tribe, that is a name. An all-male tribe, which only increases its ranks through battle and kidnapping. Oh gosh. Yeah, that sounds about right. So can we have the all-woman tribe and the all-man tribe go to war with each other? That'd be great. Absolute cinema.
Poor Nama.
The Dalamik tribe, one of only a few Zayla tribes which has abandoned the nomadic lifestyle and built a small village on an islet in the middle of a 2 mile wide span of a great inner river. It is said they once worshipped the now fallen lesser moon. Really?
Wouldn't that be that one? But
Yep. Huh.
Venus doggy.
Interesting. Well, they, I guess their god died.
Her dog died and became Venus doggy.
Yes. The what? That's a Q. IRIQ. How do you even say that?
Eric? Maybe? Oh.
Something like that. A tribe that follows the Borlak, taking on any male children given up by the all-female tribe and raising them as their own. Okay.
So, we've got an all-female tribe. And we've got the tribe taking in the rejects from the all-female tribe.
Yes.
Damn.
Wow. The Juggerhid, the second largest Zayla tribe, mortal enemies with the Karlu? Hold on. Going down the list to see who the Karlu are. Oh, the third largest Zayla tribe, who are mortal enemies with the... Okay, so these two tribes hate each other.
They're all mortal enemies with each other.
Okay, going back to the Juggerhid tribe, who are mortal enemies with the tribe we shall talk about later, they will spend the greater part of the year subjugating smaller tribes to swell their own ranks in preparation for the annual battle with the Karlu, the winner gaining control of a large part of the eastern coastlands. Every year, the annual battle is considered a holiday for these two tribes as they bash out each other's numbers. Oh gosh! And then going down to their mortal enemy, the Karlu tribe, mortal enemies with the other tribe, the Karlu will spend a greater oh, it's literally the same text!
How many of these are just repeated because it's Zayla? They all hate each other.
Apparently. We're only a third down the list, by the way. The Katiyan tribe, a tribe which largely remains unseen, hunting goats in the mountains for 9 moons of the year. The remaining 3 are spent at the foot of a great northern range, where they survive off the dried meat they stocked. Interesting. So they're mountain Zayla. Cool.
Not to be confused with the other mountain Zayla or the Arctic mountain Zayla.
Yes. The Malquir, a western steppe tribe characterized by its unique leader-choosing ritual, which instead of the usual test of brawn is a game of Karakui, a chess-like game played on a circular board divided into 3 rings. Wait, so they just do all their battles on a board game. Okay, I see how it is. Hey, I guess if it's a form of battling, it's a form of battling.
I guess.
Wow.
Can't say I'm really that surprised.
The Meghad tribe, a coastal tribe which fights with blow darts made from bones dripped in the poison of a pufferfish. What? So practiced with the pipes are the tribe that they can disable a target from 200 paces with a single dart. What the heck?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. The Mirquad tribe, a desert tribe which, over the course of a year, travels between over 100 secret buried caches of supplies restocked with each annual visit. What the heck?
What the hell, Zayla?
The Noikin tribe, master trainers of wild horses, which populate the majority of the steppe. It is said that the horse wives of the Noikin can break any beast if given but a week. What the heck?
I'm sorry, did I hear the phrase horsewife? To be clear, that is the word that was used, correct? Was horsewife? Like, I've heard of like forge wives from orcs from Elder Scrolls, but horsewife? Are they marrying horses, or are some Zayla deciding that they are horses?
Is this the Britannia meme from Total War Warhammer, but actually, actually happening? Oh gosh. Uh,
Oh my god.
we're not even halfway done. The Olkord tribe. Oh, I already don't like how this is starting.
Uh-oh.
Selective breeding has seen the average
You mean reading.
has seen the average height of the central steppe dwelling Olkdu tribe males reach over 2.5 yoms. The females, for whatever reason, remain the same though. Not sure why.
Because Ora have to be small girls.
Yes, but we can apparently make the guys bigger by selective breeding.
Are they not big enough? That sounds dirty. That's not how I meant that. I just meant that the male Ora are like extremely large. Like yeah, it's not getting better. Fuck.
Oh gosh. The Desrek tribe. Household duties such as cooking, cleaning, and child rearing are handled by the males of the Desrek who, other than when on the move, rarely ever leave their families' huts. Female Desrek are tasked with hunting and are known across the steppe as bearing some of the most accurate archers in the entire realm of... Oh gosh. Okay.
Males have the babies too.
Well, I don't want to know. Oh, hey, a tribe I actually know. The Oranir tribe. All members of the Oranir tribe believe themselves to be direct descendants of Azim, the tribe's god of the sun. As such, they look down upon all the other tribes with disgust. Yeah, gee, I wonder if we've met that tribe before. Oh, wait, we have.
You know, at first I really didn't like Magni, okay? But he's really grown on me. Like I just want him to find his Nama at this point.
Man.
Well, give the man his Nama.
Wow.
I am also completely convinced that his Nama is Sadu.
Probably.
Who would rather die than do that?
The Orak tribe. The Orak create sleds made of reeds dipped in horse fat to help move their possessions and young children about the inner grasslands. Good to know. That's it. That's all. Okay.
Are you sure you wouldn't ask for more? That's how some of these tribes have been.
At this point, probably not. The Quezriel, the warriors of this tribe, all wear complete suits of armor crafted from bones of steppe tigers, which they kill brutally with their own hands upon coming of age. What the heck?
Is that right?
The Turgud tribe. This desert tribe does not wear any clothes, choosing instead to cover their bodies almost entirely in a white paint created from mud, lime, and bone meal. What the heck? This paint helps to reflect the relentless desert sun. Okay. Moving on.
You're surprised at this point.
The Tumet tribe. The children of the Tumet, upon seeing their 10th summer, are tied to a sacred tree, while the remainder of the tribe packs up and moves to their next location. Those children who manage to break free from their bonds and catch up with the tribe at that next location are given a name and allowed to stay in the tribe. Wow!
That is wow. Just wow.
You know what? Reading ahead, it gets worse. Okay, the next tribe. The Ungud tribe. When members of this tribe die, their heads are carefully removed from their bodies and placed in jars of fermented goat milk. Once the liquid has been drunk by the head, in other words, evaporated, the head is then buried under an anthill so that the tiny workers can carry their spirits to the afterlife. What am I reading? The journey is thought to be a terrible one, the road filled with ghosts of the damned, so ensuring the spirit is drunk helps ease the journey. What? What?
God.
What is wrong with these Zayla, man? Oh gosh.
That's a question you probably don't want to answer.
The Onagir tribe. Only a handful of Zayla tribes which have given up the nomadic... Wait, what? Hold on.
It's not different from Oronir.
Yeah, one of the handful of Zala tribes which have given up the nomadic lifestyle. The Oygir reside in a system of limestone caves on the northern edge of the southern deserts, which are believed to have been dug by a race of giant oliphant-like beetles, which were placed on the land by the gods to punish the elder tribes that had grown too greedy. What the heck?
Like, I believe that.
The Dahoro tribe, an elusive tribe that avoids contacts with all the other tribes. Lookouts are posted all around their camps with orders to flee given the moment an outsider is spotted. What the heck? They literally see someone and they're like, everybody run!
They should run! That might be one of my favorite tribes.
That's hilarious. The Orban tribe, a tribe that rides up and down the great inner river on boats woven from reeds and reinforced with scales from their own skin. Ew! Wait a minute, does that mean, like, actual lizards? They actually... Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna go there.
They might shed.
Oh, gosh. The Engine tribe, a river tribe that chooses to swim from place to place rather than walk or take boats. It's said that members of this tribe can hold their breath for up to a quarter bill and will often migrate while almost completely submerged in order to avoid contact with all the other tribes, of course.
So these are the Argonians.
Apparently. The Datharl. Oh, another tribe I know. An extremely violent tribe beyond the violence of most other tribes. That's a great way to start. With members who revel in mass massacre and are taught from a young age to not fear death or pain. While they are quick to attack other tribes, mortality rates are high, ensuring that their numbers never grow too high. What the heck, Datharl?
Okay, they didn't include like one of the best parts of that though, like where they believe that every fallen Dotharo is reincarnated into like a new baby of the tribe.
Yes, that too, but yep.
Also Sadhu.
Yes.
And they also take the name of whoever they're believed to be the reincarnation of.
Yes. And are trained in the weapon of that person's previous...
Yeah, like you literally can't have your own life.
Nope. The Hotgo tribe, a tribe recently massacred by the Dotharo. Why is
that? Yep, sounds about right.
The only members surviving are those who left the tribe to travel on their own and were not present during the massacre.
Oh my god!
The Hotgo were formerly known for their vibrant face paints, which members would constantly change depending on their current mood. I see.
Damn,
too bad they're all too bad they all got massacred by the Datharl. The Saglan tribe, a tribe which sees all beastskin as equals with man, therefore refuses to eat or use them as beasts of burden. As a result, the diet of this tribe mostly consists of shrubs and violkin. Oh, so it's just the vegetarian tribe. Got it. The Kahul tribe, a tribe made up of orphans and refugees from all the other tribes that have been defeated or destroyed. Many chose to combine in the name of their old tribe. Many chose to combine the names of their old tribe with this tribe's name. Interesting. Okay, so it's just the tribe of survivors. Got it. The Ka. Unlike most of the Zala, the Ka live on the fringes of the Zala lands, actively seeking contact with non-Ari peoples, introducing many aspects of their cultures into their own... Wait! Oh, so they're the only Zala tribe that actually is not like all the other Zala. Okay, interesting. Hey, another tribe I know, the Mole. A smaller tribe of devout worshippers of the elder gods, the Mole will consult with their deities via a shaman conduit before making any tribe-related decisions, from the direction of their next migration to the beasts they will hunt each day for food. Yep, I know that.
A bit much.
I know that tribe.
Yes, I also think they're a bit much, and maybe the other Ora were onto something.
Oh boy.
Can you imagine having to sit there in prayer, waiting to see if you could, like, grab this thing to eat?
Oh gosh. The Gessi tribe. The Gessi are masters of the sling spear, a mid-sized javelin carved from a mammoth bone, which, instead of being thrown by hand, is flung with a leather sling to improve range, speed, and killing power. What the heck? Okay.
Zayla, are you really surprised?
The Kagon. The Kagon are a nocturnal desert tribe who worship Nama, goddess of the moon, and mortal enemy of Azim, goddess of the sun. Or god of the sun. Instructed by their goddess that to step into the sun is to succumb to the evil of Azim, they spend the daylight hours in their tents, only submerging to hunt and migrate at night. The result is an uncharacteristically pale skin for a group of people living in an almost eternally fair weather locale.
So they're vampires.
Yes. The Goro tribe. The Goro tribe believe horses to be perfect beings without fault. Oh gosh, this is off to a great start. And each male or female, upon coming of age, is married to a horse of the opposite sex. No!
What? I was not expecting that.
Reproductive mates are chosen by casting lots. I hate this. We still got more to go. The Garl tribe. Before each migration, the Garl will find the sacred urn with the soil of the place they just camped. The soil is then dumped upon arriving at the next location. This tradition has been carried out for thousands of years, leaving people to believe that most of the steppe is now all one soil. Interesting.
It's actually not bad.
The
I mean, especially since it was immediately after the horse marrying tribe.
Yes. The Dakyu tribe. The Dakyu cover quite possibly the most area in their migrations, for they rarely stop in one area for longer than a few bells. Sleeping is all done in the saddle, and tents are only used when the rains are heavy and unbearable. Interesting. So they're the most Mongol out of all of them. Got it. The Harrigan tribe. The legends of this coastal tribe tell of a group of their ancestors who crafted a giant ship and sailed out across the endless eastern ocean. The explorers are said to have returned with tales of a terrible island covered in massive gray monoliths and inhabited by fire-breathing steel demons. What the heck? What the heck?
Oh, wow.
Huh.
I have no words.
I wonder if now I'm just wondering if we could eventually have that in game. Anyway,
what?
I don't know. A terrible island covered in massive gray monoliths and inhabited by fire-breathing steel demons sounds like a new dungeon to me, Adexi. I don't know.
Actually, that just sounds like Morrowind from Elder Scrolls.
Maybe. The Ura tribe, Harurara? Wait, what? The mountain-dwelling tribe is one of the few which, instead of hunting, mine the precious ores of the peaks and trade them with the steppe tribes for food. Oh, the mining tribe, yes.
Oh, yes. They're basically orcs or dwarves.
Mm-hmm. The Mox tribe, a tribe invisible for the fact that its members are spread out across many different tribes, unbeknownst to those tribes, by the way. Communication between its members is done on the rare occasion when two tribes meet, though an ancient set of hand signals only recognizable by those who know what they are looking for. Oh my goodness, it's literally... Oh gosh. It's the Illuminati, but the Zayla.
The Zayla Nadi or whatever.
Oh gosh. Oh. The Ganekwi tribe. In addition to the standard language used by most of the Zayla in cross-tribe communication, the Ganekwi employ a complex system of whistles and clicks which resemble the cloud and wavekin of the steppe. Interesting. So they have their own language. Got it. The Horo tribe. To those who live in the meager lifestyles of the steppe dwellers, being overweight is a symbol of affluence and power. Where is this going? I've
heard this before.
To appear heavier than one in their station, the members of the Horo will drink copious amounts of water to intentionally bloat their bellies.
Wonderful!
What are some of these tribes, man? At least we're almost done now. The Hime tribe. For reasons unknown, 1 out of every 3 pregnancies, okay, I don't like where this is going, amongst the tribe result in twins. As a result, over half the tribe's members have a doppelganger. This can prove an advantage during attacks as it confuses the enemy into believing the dead have risen. Oh no! Why?
It's not actually that bad. Oh, after you read this tribe, will you read the one before? Because I missed it.
Oh, the one before? Okay,
Yeah.
No, the one before was the water one. The
Wait, I
bloated
didn't
one.
hear the water one. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the bloated
The one
people
before
one.
the bloated one.
Oh, the Gannett tribe. In addition to the the one that uses their own language.
Oh, okay.
Alright, the next one is the Malagud tribe. One of the only tribes that accepts people of the Rayan, those that have been exiled and those who have fled persecution into their circle. I see. Interesting. The Uramet tribe. This desert tribe has the queer custom of traveling with their elders carried upon their shoulders. It is believed that in the flat desert, this gives the tribe an advantage of being able to see farther. That's the reason? Okay.
Sorry, what?
Yes, me thinking, yes, they're carrying the elders of the tribe on their shoulders so that the elderly don't have to walk. No, it's because they believe if they carry their elders on their shoulders, they can see farther. Oh my gosh. The Quelly tribe. Also known as the songbirds of the steppe, the Quelly communicate through song, attaching a melody to their words to further add emotion to their meaning. It's said they even ride into battle while singing. Oh gosh, it's the Bard tribe!
No, man, that's the Broadway tribe.
Oh no. Oh no. Hey, another tribe I know, the Quessier. This tribe refuses to speak at all, believing all words are lies, and that a man's actions are the purest form of communication. Funnily enough, this tribe also engages in lots of marketing and selling goods to other tribes. Yes, as the tribe that doesn't say a word.
Yep.
And that is all the tribes.
Which one's your favorite?
Well, minus the fact that like 2/3 of these tribes kind of disturbed me. Uh, what tribe do I like the most?
I'm not gonna ask you your least favorite because we won't be here a while.
Oh gosh. Um.
There were things that even disturbed me.
There was a lot of disturbing ones in XE.
Yes, there were.
I mean, we had people marrying horses. We had the whole thing with heads being dipped in milk and buried in anthills. The whole thing with the tying kids to trees and leaving them behind. I don't know, man.
I gotta say, I did like that one Zewa tribe who was, open to like refugees and Rayan.
Oh yeah, the Malagud tribe.
They were very wholesome.
Yeah, there's also the tribe that accepts all the male children. They're kicked out of the all-female tribe. And also the one tribe that actually just tries to engage in diplomacy with people outside the steppe, which is the Ka tribe. Yep. Yeah, there are a lot of good ones, but I'm also like trying to think like, what if I had to pick one tribe that my character Sapphira is from, which one would it be?
I feel like Scatha would be from one of the warring tribes.
Oh gosh.
Actually, I could see Scatha from one of the mountain ones.
Was there a war-bringing mountain tribe? I don't remember. I'm trying to skim the list again. Oh yeah, and then there's the random tribe from the mountains that's so far north they're just straight up in the glaciers. I forgot about that one.
Okay, I think one of my favorites was the vampire tribe.
Oh yeah, the one that only travels
Where
nocturnally because they think
believe that
the
Adam is evil, so the sun is evil.
Yep. uh
Where they're basically vampires. Oh god, that was funny.
and also that tribe that literally just avoids contact with all their tribes and has specifically assigned lookouts, so if they see someone coming from a mile away, they just say, "Everybody run!" and they all flee.
Actually, I think that's my favorite.
That one is pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie. That and the one underwater tribe that also avoids contact, but that's because they're all underwater swimming all day long.
That'd be a fun tribe. Would they have tails? Like mermaid tails?
Oh gosh.
I'm just interested because they spent all that time underwater. They had to have adapted, right?
Fair enough. There's two... The freaking... Why are, like, the 3 horse tribes all a little too obsessed with horses? I'm just saying.
It is a bit weird, isn't it?
I do like that there's a tribe that also is nothing but singing.
Probably try.
Oh yeah, and then there's the dung collecting tribe. Oh my gosh.
That one was a little weird.
And also the second largest and third largest Zayla tribes, which are always at war with each other and have a national holiday of just brawling it out once a year. Yeah.
Man.
I do like the one tribe that's like, oh yes, we thought this tribe went extinct like 200 years ago, but it was recently discovered in a random valley in a random mountain pass north. It's like, ah yes, nothing else? Okay.
Think of like all the peace they would have had from the other tribes for all the years they were thought extinct.
Right.
Because everyone like would think they're dead and no one would hunt them down, or they'd be left alone.
Mm-hmm.
Nosy Eorzeans probably ruined it for them.
Right. Oh yeah, and then there's the selective breeding tribe. Oh gosh.
Weren't there other tribes that were kind of selective breeding?
I think so. Oh yeah, and then there's the tribe that just rips tigers apart with their bare hands for fun and makes armor out of them. Mm-hmm. Which is right next.
Feels like more of like an Amazon tribe.
Yes, and then underneath that was the tribe that refuses to wear clothing, but instead covers their bodies in paint. Yes. Mm-hmm. Ay, ay, ay.
That sounds about right.
I'm also noticing like how that now that I'm skimming the list real fast, like almost like a third of these tribes are boat tribes or swimming tribes. There's a lot of water tribes.
Wait, is there a page for Rayan tribes?
No, only Zayla. The reason being is that, according to what it says about the Rayan have pretty much abandoned their tribal stuff long ago because they just wanted to integrate with society and move away from their past. Whereas the Zayla are like, no, stay in
Fuck
tribes
that.
and keep beating each other up for all of eternity. Ay, ay, ay. Oh man. Someday, if I have to, it would be fun just to like build like background lore for my characters and try to figure out like a backstory for Sapphira. But I'd have to figure out what I want to do for like her tribe story.
That's fair.
I have an idea of what I might do, maybe. Maybe. It depends on how dark. It depends on how dark I'd want her backstory to be. All right. Well, on that note, everybody, we have now read about all of the races that are at least covered in Encyclopedia Eorzea Volume 1. This did not include Bun Girls or what's the other race? Oh, geez, I'm forgetting.
Which race? The Rothgar?
No, the other cat race. The new one.
That's Rothgar.
Oh, it is Hrothgar? Oh, yeah, Hrothgar.
Yeah,
No, you're right, yeah. I don't know why I was thinking Rogadin. No, you're right.
You're right about the Rogadin. Also, we learned too much about subcultures.
Yes. I'm not gonna talk about the cat girls. We're moving on from that. Actually, the Lalafels had some surprising stuff in them, too, but that goes without saying.
But the Lalafels, so no one cares.
Yes, true. Although I think actually, I'm gonna be honest. I think I think everyone in chat and myself was more intrigued by the Lalafels than the Rogadin. The Rogadin just.
The Rogadin are boring.
Yeah,
I'm
Rogadin.
sorry,
Yeah,
they're
no one cares about the Rogadin. They're just there.
They're just there. Nobody cares.
I mean, I don't really see that many Rogadin players to begin with anyway. So.
No. There's definitely, it is funny to me that in the lore, like, the cat girls don't, the Makote actually don't, like, you know, civilization.
Mm-hmm.
But in FF14, they're everywhere, and they did invade Limsa.
Yes, also the fact that in the lore, the here are the most popular race, followed closely by the Elizin. But actual gameplay, it's just cat girls everywhere, with some bun girls mixed in.
It actually makes sense to me that that's the case in the lore, because like that's pretty common of like every human race and like it really anything is that the humans are the most populous. Obviously when people make characters it's different, but it makes sense like they've listed it in the lore as the most populated.
Yes, followed by the Elizin, because Elizin. But
Elizin.
So yeah, anyway, I think we're gonna end stream and find somebody to raid, and in fact, I think I already know someone who is live right now, because is Andang live right now?
He was.
And Andang is still live right now. All right, well, you know, because we have to keep the discussion about cat girls going or something like that. We're gonna raid Andang. Oh gosh. Which, by the way, if no one saw the clip I posted of his stream last night, all I'm gonna say is it was certainly an Andang stream of all time. But yeah.
Oh god. Wait, I have a question.
Uh-huh.